Hi everyone and welcome back. My name is Audrey Shantz and I'm a watercolor artist and a watercolor teacher. We are in the middle of our watercolor flower series for the summer and I'm loving it. This is a free printable. It's linked in the description below if you would like to sketch this Queen Anne's lace flower with me. We just did that in our last video, so go find that, sketch it, and then meet us at this video. It should look like this. And today we will paint. Okay, so this is our Queen Anne's lace. Let's talk about supplies for a moment and we'll get started. So we need some watercolor paints. This is what I've got. Water and a towel, so a jar of water. And then I've got a size 10 round, this is a Winsor & Newton watercolor brush. You shouldn't need a pencil because we've already done that sketching. I am using 140-pound cold press watercolor paper. I have got a spray bottle for my paints and I've got a heat tool. You could use an old hair dryer, and that is all we need today to get started. I can't wait for this one, so let's get painting. If you are like, wait, we didn't light our candle, light your candle. And we are going to begin with observation like we always do. So don't skip this part. I'll try to make it quick. Okay, here's our Queen Anne's lace. We already have the whole thing sketched. So we're really just looking at how it's painted right now. We have two different colors of purple. One looks like a shadow under, the other looks like the main part of the flower. Then we have this is like our stems, and we have some leaves right here. It's not very different in color, but there is a lighter color and a darker color if you look closely at that. And if you would like to see more distinction between that, when we mix our paints, you'll mix yours into two more distinct colors. I'll probably do that today as well, get a little bit more dimension in there by doing so. And that is it. So let's mix those colors. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here so we can see it. This is my paints from last time, but I have lots of space. So let me see. I think I'll work on top of this one because it's so light. So you look at yours. If you need to get rid of your paints that are over here, just grab a wet paper towel, wipe them down, start fresh. I want purple for sure for this one. So I'm going to get into my purple. So let's see. I just took my brush and I got it into my water jar. Let's see if you can see it here. Got into my water jar. If you haven't yet, go ahead and spray your paints. My kitten has been walking all over my paints. So I have like little cat hairs. Okay, took my brush, got it wet, went into this purple, and I'm going to swipe some on here. Now, right off the bat, if it's too dark, clean out your brush and add water. Okay, let's see. I want to start with my lighter color first, so it probably is a little dark. I'll clean out my brush. I'll come back with some water. Can't really see my water, can you? There you go. I feel like that's like actually a nice really color. So I went on top of that light pink because it was so light. It was just hardly going to make a difference. I'm digging that right off the start. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Now don't forget, if you don't like straight purple from here, grab another color and mix it. Okay, you can go into pink, you can go into blue, and make sure you have a color that you really love. Then from this, we want a darker one of the same thing. So grab the same color that you used to get there, and we'll do a puddle that's darker. The darker puddle does not need as much water, okay, because we're not going to use as much of it, but you want to make sure that they match, they go together, they're made up of the same colors. We've got our two purples. Test them out, make sure you like them before you get onto your paper. Then for our green, you can do anything you want. I like that this is a really nice kind of yellowy, bright, kind of happy, earthy green. I don't know. So I think what I will do for today is I'm actually going to take from this one. So if you have my color palette, this is an olive green. It's the 5th one up. If you don't have my color palette, if you want to grab a green and maybe even add a little bit of like this kind of a mustardy yellow, yellow ochre, or some brown to it, you might get a nice color that you like. Or you can add just regular yellow to it. But same thing with our greens, we want two. So I want this one, and then I want like a light. So I'm going to add water to this one so that they're made up of the same thing. So this will be slightly different than this. This is earthier. This is a little like browner, yellower. This is greener. So you look and see what you like. In fact, right off the bat, I think I will just make a little adjustment into both. So that's greener. Take that, add some into here, clean out my brush because I don't want this one to get dark. We need this one to stay light, this one to be darker. And you can always adjust as you go, but you pretty much do want them to be made up of the same color. Otherwise, you'll have like a yellowish green and then a bluish green, and it just doesn't go so well, especially when we're looking at things that are supposed to be somewhat realistic looking, okay? So that's it. We've got our 4 different colors and we're ready to go. I'm gonna scooch this over. Come right here. We'll zoom in together. Isn't that so pretty? I love this series. And we're gonna start by just doing the cloud blobs, okay? And we'll start with that light purple color first. So I'm taking my brush, cleaned my brush, wiped it on my towel like this, wiped it on my towel. Go in here with the tip of my brush. This is such a small space, right? So we do not need a lot of water on your brush or you're gonna feel out of control. Notice I can fill this in perfectly, or I can sort of stipple, which is just kind of pressing down like this on top, and I can fill them in. I do not need to fill them in perfectly. Something that I think is like the enemy of painting can be perfection. And it's hard for all of us to kick. But see that? I'm just filling them in pretty well, right? But I can go outside the lines a little. I can stay inside the lines a little, and it's okay. But listen, I don't like getting tedious into stuff sometimes. So that's why sometimes I'll just do it that way. And I love the look. I am not compromising on that. So make sure you like what you do as well. I have now stippled into each of those. I just kind of dabbed it to get them filled in. And I could add dark purple while they're wet, but if they're too wet, it's gonna just pull it across and you'll lose all of your light purple. So for today, I'm gonna teach you sort of the safer way. But if you wanted to play with it like this, I'll show you one this way. How about that? I can't help myself. I'll show you one this way. And I added some dark purple to my brush, very little water. And I'll just touch the bottom of it like this. But you see how it's taking over, and it might just take over that whole thing. I just don't want to lose light purple. So if I had less water, it wouldn't take over as far. A couple like this. It's beautiful, right? So you can play that way if you want to. But otherwise, I'm cleaning my brush and setting it down. I'm getting out my heat tool, and I'm going to give this layer a quick dry. Okay, we're back. So those did turn into really beautiful little blends. But they really did, I lost some in that process. So instead we're coming back, we're stippling again, but right at the bottom. And if you stipple, you'll get organic shape. I recommend it because otherwise you're trying to figure out, where exactly do I paint? We're simplifying. You paint somewhere at the bottom and it needs to look cloud-like, like the top part. Okay, so if this one's hidden, I'll get just the bottom of it. Isn't it already so great? Such a fun way to paint, such a beautiful flower. Okay, and then refresh your brush when you need to, but remember, very little water. So if it feels out of control, you have too much water. I just got an email from YouTube that said I had 350,000 views. Isn't that so crazy? It's fun to celebrate stuff like that. I think that's my last one here. Let's see. Then go back and look, like if any of them are like, oh, it's not dark enough, you can darken it up and make sure you like them. And then I know it's kind of tedious, but I'm going to stop and I'm going to dry them again, because what I want to do is I want to use my green paint next, and I'm going to come all the way up and touch that purple. And if I don't dry it first, this purple will bleed into this light green. Now, if you like that, go for it. But if you want to keep them separate, just a quick dry. We'll do it on camera. We'll do it together. Okay, excellent. So now we're going to get into our light green color. So remember, you have 2 puddles of green, one is lighter. Grab that one, and you don't want too much on your brush. We are going to follow all of our lines. We're coloring everything that we've drawn in here green. So for the stems, we did just do 1 pencil line, but we'll widen it up while we paint it. So just press a little bit so you get a little bit thicker of a line than what you drew with pencil. And don't forget these really beautiful little stems up top. Even if you accidentally, they got covered when you painted, pull them down a little bit. So I'm just sort of drawing them in a little bit with my green. And refresh your brush when you need it. So I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of times it just depends on what technique we're using. The sketch can take a lot longer than the painting, or vice versa. And sometimes the paint is you just kind of bop, 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 and it's done. And I think this is one of those where it goes real quick. light on the tip of your brush. So this is tricky because it's thin lines. I have my pinky down like this, little support pinky, and that can help you to just have like feel stable, because you don't want to press too hard or you'll have very thick lines. So some of these got covered, and it is tricky to kind of redraw them. So just as much as you can, kind of, look, I'll add another one up here because I love them. I love them. Okay, I'm gonna come here and fill all of this in. So the stem straight down, and at the same time, I'll do all this so that it looks like one shape. And we're gonna come in a second and we're gonna do a darker paint, and it's gonna really add some dimension. So it's okay that this isn't very dark. But if you're looking at it and you're like, but it's really not dark enough, darken it up now. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. Mine needs a little bit. I just readjusted my puddle and you could see that. Okay, and then I'm just coming in with just a little bit darker right on top of them. Not worrying about perfection. I don't even care that I perfectly cover what I've already done. But I think that it was about to be too light. And too light isn't going to be as realistic. Got to be able to see them. Ugh, I just accidentally bumped my wet paint. It's the worst. But it's okay. I can handle it. Okay, now I like this. And I'm going to dry this, and we're going to come back, add some dimension, and we'll be done. It's nice and dry. I cannot see the light reflecting on it, so I know I'm good to go. But now, since I darkened this green puddle, I need to make sure this one's actually darker than that one. So I'm going to mostly use the same color. Sometimes I like to get into a little bit of a darker green just to make sure it's going to be darker, or I can get into a, up here there's like a navy blue. It's called Payne's Gray. You can grab a tiny bit of that and make sure this is darker. Still want very little water so that this is just on the tip of my brush. Okay, and if you have too much water on your brush, clean and dry your brush, come back to your puddle with the tip of your brush and use that. And we will get in here. Now I'm going to go only on the right side. I don't want to cover up my stems. Same thing as with our purples up here. If I go right on top, what was the point of that? So you want to be able to see both of them. I'm going to work left to right so I don't bump it accidentally, but very thin lines to the right of. And I'm only going to do it where I want to. So if you don't want to see it on everything, don't do it on everything. But I don't want to cover my light green. And then some of these you decide, does it go under or on top of? See that though? That looks more realistic than that side. Isn't that so lovely? All of these little things. I never knew that you could continue to learn little tips and tricks all along the way, and that's how you learned art. I thought it was just sort of magic and you just sort of knew it. And if you didn't, you didn't. You weren't born with it. That was that. When I learned it's all these little tiny things you learn and you keep stacking up. Oh, it's just so fun and satisfying. So I hope you're loving it too. Now I get down here, I want to get the side of this stem first because that's what I know. I know how to do that. Then over here, side of this one as well. Then I say you can get in the inside a little bit if you want, or you can get on the bottom. Probably just like a combo of that. You decide. I'm just going to go along the bottom, and I'm going to try to do it in a bit of a zigzag. Just a real sort of loose, sketchy zigzag. And I think that's just going to give us enough. Yeah. Love it. I think that's literally it. We have got a Facebook page. If you want to see my artwork, it's audreyshansart.com. If you want to share your artwork with the rest of us, you can do that at the Facebook group, which is Audrey's Art Club on Facebook. Make sure you rate Queen Anne's lace. I know I forgot that on the dahlia, so I stuck that in there too. Let's look how it's coming along. This is where we're going. This is where we're at. I think you guys are awesome and you're rocking it. So can't wait to see your work, and I will see you here next week for another flower.